This is an algebra video on graphing square root functions. So we're going to look at some functions with square roots and see how they vary depending on what we do here. So I'm going to go, and you could do this on Apple Grapher. I'm doing it on a Windows-based graphing program. And so on this one, I'm going to graph y, or f of x, is equal to the square root of x. And since I can't write a radical sign, this has a thing that you just go SQRT for square root, and then followed by x. So I'm going to graph this, and so this again is y is equal to square root of x, or f of x is equal to square root of x, and I get this line here. You can see that it never goes below 0 here, or over this way, because we can't have an x value that is negative. As we go up here, it gets flatter and flatter, as you can see. Now we're going to look at insert a other function here, and this time we're going to look at 3 times the square root of x. So f of x, or y, is equal to 3 square root of x, and I'll do this with a different color so we can distinguish it. Let's do this one in green, and I graph this, and now with that 3 square root of x, we get this. So you can tell that it has raised up here, and your book calls it's a vertical stretch, so it's stretched it out vertically here. Okay, now we're going to try one with a I'm going to insert a function again, and we're going to do a negative coefficient here, so negative 0.5. And so also our coefficient is less than 1, the absolute value of it's less than 1. And so we're really trying out 2 different things here, and we're going to go square root of x, and we'll get this a different color. How about this one as a red? And we're going to say that, so it's negative 0.5 square root of x. And we can see that the negative sign brought it down below the x-axis here, and we can tell that it vertically shrank it also, so the vertical change is less. So again, this is here the square root of x, this is 3 square root of x, and this is negative 0.5 square root of x. Now I'm going to do another one, and this one is going to be the square root of x, and then I'm going to put that in parentheses, and then we're going to add we're going to add 2, let's say, on this one. We're going to see what happens there. And hopefully I've done that correctly. Let's see, I don't think I've used blue yet, so I'll use blue on this one. And on this one, you'll see that it starts at 2 here. Apparently it starts at 2 here. And then, so it was a square root of x plus 2. So basically, it's basically the same as this graph here, which was f of x is equal to square root of x. But that graph has shifted up 2. So it's shifted up here, and now it's the same. Now I'm going to try another one. All these are from the text and just showing us the change here, and you can try your own if you would like. this one's going to be f of x is going to equal to the square root of x minus 4. So I have x minus 4, and for a color, let's choose this pink here. And this one, you can see that where I have the square root of x minus 4 in the whole thing within the square root, that it shifted it on the x-axis so that it moved over here. Otherwise, it's looking to me pretty much the same as square root of x, but we've shifted it to the right here, shifted it horizontally 4 units. And then your book has one more example. I'm going to say insert function, and I'm going to say f of x is equal to 2 times the square root of, and I'm going to put this in parentheses so that it's all effectively under the radical sign there, x plus 4. And then I'm going to put minus 1. So if we're going to guess what this is going to do, you would look over here, and like here's f of x, up here is 3 square root of x. I think that was this one here. So we're thinking that that part of it should make it go somewhere in between this line, or this curve I should say, and this curve. So somewhere in between those. The x plus 4, I would think, would shift it this way again, and the minus 1 should bring it starting here. So it will start y is equal to negative 1. And so let's see if our guess is correct, and I'll choose a different color here. And let's see what I haven't chose. Let's take this sort of, a purple color there, sort of a purplish grayish color. So let's see if we're right. Did I say negative 4? I did say negative 4. Oh, I put plus 4, didn't I? So negative 4 moved it this way, but I put plus 4 here, and so my prediction was off because I typed it in wrong. But it's actually a negative 4, or a plus 4 shifts it this way. So I fooled myself a little bit. Otherwise, I think we're sort of in between these two here, which is what I was predicting. So the 2 should be between the square root of x here in the 3 square root of x here. So hopefully that makes some sense, but basically I'm just walking through what they did in the book. And I'll have you graph some of these by hand and also use some on Grapher, but that gives you an idea of what happens with these square root functions. And with that, I'll end this video.